Hello and welcome, friends. Welcome to another exciting review. This time I have a vintage KAWECO Sport Set, and we are talking about this wonderful set. This is my latest acquisition. It came in this red leather pouch. It contains two writing instruments. It has this beautiful keychain, and it is from 1965, guys. Let me tell you the wonderful price I paid for this beautiful set. So I paid 200 lays, which means I paid approximately 40.42 euros or 47.83 American dollars. I was quite excited because I saw the pictures with this beautiful red leather pouch, and in my collection, as you can see in the background, I had only black leather pouches and an interesting transparent one from a modern set. So when I saw this at that wonderful price, I had to have it. So without hesitation, I contacted the seller, and I believe it was cheaper. Of course, I told him that the shipment is on me, and I offered him around 1 or 2 euros above his asking price. Because, guys, when you find such great deals at great prices, sometimes they are too good to be true, but if the seller is genuine and the product he is selling is a genuine product, you must work fast in order to secure the transaction for you. And some of the sellers they respect some codes of selling, but others they prefer like an auction, and they keep rising the price up, which is not fair. But sometimes it happens. Luckily for me, it wasn't this case. But I want, in a way, to share my experience with you guys, especially the new ones to this wonderful hobby that need to acquire some beautiful vintage pieces. You have to be patient and you have to do your homework well. And believe me, you will find deals like I found. Of course, not all my transactions were quite successful. Of course, I bought myself fake products. I bought myself very badly damaged products that the seller didn't mention their flaws. So you must imagine my frustration and my loss in a way, because not all of them are cheap. To build yourself a collection, you must invest some serious cash. You might dispose of that sum before you start buying, or you are like me, you make some savings, and based on that savings you buy and accumulate different fountain pens. But as an advice, guys, to you, buy what you like. So buy what you like, no matter how the market it is. It first and foremost, it should deliver you pleasure of owning that product, of writing with it. I always advise my clients to write with their vintage fountain pens. Of course, I have some vintage fountain pens that they are in a delicate state, and they are so rare and so valuable. At least to me they are valuable, because I know that they are rare items. Maybe some of them are quite unique. The last one of them in the world. And I don't want to be the person responsible for destroying their history. So they are real survivors, and if they reach my hand, I want to preserve them as long as I can. Maybe some future generation will appreciate them as much as I do. Okay, enough with the small talk. Let me focus on this leather pouch. And as it happens, those sets which were sold in the 1960s, they were promotional tools for different businesses. And in this case, we have Sommerfeld, OHG. So, let me tell you about this personalization. So, OHG, it stands from General Commercial Partnership. And I'm sorry for my German, but it is called offene Handelsgeschäft, and it means when two or more entrepreneurs or companies act together to operate a trade under a common company, they can create a general commercial partnership. Referring to the word Sommerfeld, well, I found that it is a small, I'm not so sure, town or maybe a small town near Berlin. And in fact, it is a topographic name, and it means from fields, so named Summerfield because they were cultivated only in the summertime, the equivalent in English Summerfield. So maybe it was a commercial partnership. I certainly found hotels or a breakfast or a bed and inn with Sommerfeld. I'm not so sure that we are talking about the same business. So remember, guys, this business was active in the second part of the 1960s, and I'm not so sure they are still around. But talking about personalizations, I have other sets from that period that they are also personalized. This is with a firm called Pegulan. Strangely, it is still in business, but they moved their headquarters all the way in Australia, and they are specialized in office carpets. And I have another original leather pouch. You can see KAWECO Sport, and here Werner Kauer and two hammers. So those two gentlemen were executives in mining firms during the Second World War, and they partnership in the beginning of the 1950s, and they made this particular firm. Of course, the newer sets, they are not personalized, only those from the 1950s, 1960s, and the 1970s. And the sets that I don't have yet in my collection is the famous set made for the Munich Olympic Games in 1972. The infamous games, well known today because of that terrorist attack. If I'm not mistaken, the Black September movement. It was a tragedy, but those Olympic Games will be forever remembered by those tragic events. So, returning to our set, guys, like I told you, it contains two pieces, and I will show them both. First, let me check out the fountain pen. And we have a V12 and an F. V will always stand in KAWECO for a hooded nib or a semi-hooded nib, depending how you call it. This is the beautiful nib. I can call it a semi-hooded nib. It is made of 14 karat gold, and it is engraved in here 14K and here 585, the content of gold. It is wonderful. It has this ink window. It has the blind cap. V12. Okay, this is the end. This is the piston filler. And this is the fountain pen, guys. It has this beautiful, beautiful engraving here, which is also painted in that beautiful, beautiful gold paint, KAWECO Sport. It has this wonderful, wonderful logo here, and it has two metallic, one metallic ring here, and one at the back of the barrel. The other piece I have in this set is this one, and this was a ball pen. Let me show you. Yes, it has engraved 619. So this is the ball pen, again KAWECO Sport. All the body is faceted, but this part is cylindrical, is rounded. You simply push this ending, which again has this KAWECO, and the mine is out. I will open it for you to see, guys, what type of mines they use. But till then, I want to show you a previous set. This one contains another fountain pen, and it is engraved the same, but this time we have a V12 with an oblique medium nib. Let me show you how it compares to the V12 with an F nib. So the F nib is in the right side, and the oblique medium is on the left side. And if we concentrate on their tips, you can see the difference between an F and an oblique medium nib. They are the same dimensions, only this engraving on the barrel, it is different. Okay, let me close them. And the other set, the old set, has a different instrument in the package. So this is the number 19, the so-called twist pencil. So we have that pencil there, and it ends like this. The other one, it is like this, the 619. So the 619, you can push it, a ballpoint pen, and this is the so-called twist. So I think it rotates like this, or maybe like this. I'm not so sure. Let me open it. Yes, it opens like this. And maybe it doesn't work. I thought to myself that if I rotate it like this, it should work. But it definitely rotates. Maybe it's not in a function order. So this rotates like this, and it has that mine. So this, I should call it a rotating piston pencil, or a mechanical pencil. And this is the ballpoint version from 1965. So you can say that I have all the writing instruments from that period of time. Of course, like a comparison between the models, I have here a V12, a simple 12 model. This is from the 1950s, in a time when the open nib was fashionable. And I want to show you the same fountain pen, but from a previous generation. So an open nib, a KAWECO nib versus this nib, the concave grip, the different material used on the ink window, and the same, approximately the same blind cap. And if I'm not mistaken, the 1950s model is made out of celluloid, and this is injected plastic in 1965. So, guys, I will leave the dimensions of both of the fountain pen, so of both of V12 F nib and of the ballpoint pen, the 619, and after that we will do the writing sample. So for the writing sample, I think that I will use a royal blue ink. Till then, I thought to myself that it would be interesting to show you some modern fountain pens, and just for fun to see if I can compare them with our model. Let me see, guys, I'm sorry. Let me see if I have the right cap. No, look at the cap from the 1950s, is a little bigger than our pen. So this is the pen from 1965, guys. Quite slim in comparison with that from the 1950s. I'm not so sure you can tell. So this is slimmer from 1965. Around 2000 they came out with this set, which has interesting guilla shape patterns that tried to pay homage to the KAWECO Sport of the 1930s. I also have, guys, a transparent fountain pen. Let me see how I can pull it out. Yes. And I also have a more modern but quite nice looking navy blue KAWECO with that vintage looking clip. So 1965, 2000, this is newer. This is from 2008, I believe. This is from 2018. Approximately, guys. Maybe I'm mistaken. But those are the beautiful, beautiful KAWECOs. Okay, now that I've shown you the newer models, I will put them aside and Now I will change the angle of the camera, and after that I will be ready for the writing sample. So stay tuned, guys. I will return in 1 minute. Well, guys, I have returned, and I thought to myself, why not a Parker Quink should do this job? And I have here the Parker Quick ink. I have here our fountain pen, so the V12 with an F nib. I'm opening like this. Let me put the cap here. Just give the ink a little bit of a shake. I will open it. I will take off the cap. I will put it here. Now I'm turning the piston, guys. Yes, the piston is turned. I will simply put it like this, and now I turn it the other side till I reach the end, and it appears the ink has been drowned because we don't see the ink window anymore. I have here a tissue. I will clean it. Okay. Now I'm putting back this fake cap. Let me put it like this, and let me write with it. Okay, I think a little zoom will be quite nice. So for you to see KAWECO. Okay, KAWECO Sport. This is a V12 with an F nib. It was made in Germany in 1965. So guys, I thought to myself that it is a great opportunity to show you how the nibs work. So this is a V12 with an F nib. I will put it here. But I also have a V12 with an oblique medium nib. And I'm sorry, I will try to just dip it in ink for different reasons. I hate to clean them, and it will reduce the time of this video. So this is another KAWECO Sport, also a V12, but equipped with an oblique medium nib, also made in Germany in 1965. And guys, I will put back the cap because I don't want it to get dried, of course. And now I have another surprise for you. Why not, guys? Let me put them side by side with previous generation. This is a number 12, like you see. Let me show you. So this is a number 12 with an oblique double broad nib. And I will do the same as I did with the OM nib. I'm just going to dip it in ink, and maybe it will write. So let me give you a little zoom, guys. This is a KAWECO Sport 12 with an oblique double broad nib. This was made in Germany. Made in Germany. I'm sorry, I think it was made in 1955, let's say. Maybe 1953, but I will say 1955. And if I'm with this open nib, let me test if we have some flex to it. No flex, as you can see, so no flex. Let me see how juicy it is. Quite a juicy nib, and I was expecting of, look at it, fine, and these are thicker lines, like a oblique double broad fountain pen should write. Now let's see how if we have some line variance. So here no pressure, and here we start with a little pressure. As you can see, no significant line variance. And I will return to tell you about the quick brown fox. Okay, I'm finished with this one for the moment. Now, with the OM1, I hope it still has ink. Yes, it still has ink. So again, no flex to it. Let me see how juicy the nib is. Again, you can see the difference. An oblique one, those thick, and this is more pronounced line. Okay, let me test the line variance. So here no pressure, and here I am applying some pressure. No significant line variance. Okay guys, now I will move on to our F nib. Okay, I hope you can see. I will start, sorry, let me push those aside. Yes, I will start with the line. Okay, no significant flex, so no flex guys. This time it is an F nib, not such as juicy as the other nibs. Okay, and now let me see. Here no pressure, and here pressure. Again, no line variance. I certainly forgot to do something with them, and a signature. This is quite nice as signatures. Let me test the other one, the oblique. No, I'm sorry, this is the double broaded one. Let me see how it does a signature. I think it needs to be dipped again in the ink. Yes, it does a better job than the F nib, I'm telling you. And now let me see an oblique semi-hooded nib, if it has some juice left for a signature. Yes, so the open nib, it is a better signature fountain pen. On the second place we have the V, the semi-hooded nib with OM, and in the last place the F nib. Of course I'm subjective because I like a thicker line in the nib, so I'm not a particular fan of the F nib. Now let me tell you about the quick brown fox. So the quick, come on, focus please. Okay, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. I was thinking about the jumps over the lazy cow. I don't know why, guys. So the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this is done with the V12 with an F nib. Okay, guys. Now let me try the same with the oblique medium nib. So the same, the quick. Come on, just focus, please. Please focus on the lighting. Sorry, guys. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. So this is done with the V12 with an oblique medium nib. Okay, guys. And now let's move on to the previous generation, the open nib. I hope it still has enough ink. Yes, it has. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This is a number 12 with an oblique double broad nib. Again, guys, I'm sorry, I should have written. So this is from 1965, sorry. The second one is from 1965, and the third one is a previous generation. I will call it from the 1955. And guys, I must tell you, although we have the review of the V12 F from 1965, my favorite of them all is by far the one from 1955. And it has the open nib, which I adore, and it's not a fair comparison because this is an OBB nib, but it certainly writes different from the other two pieces. Guys, this was my review. This was my review of a wonderful set. I love the pouch. I simply love the pouch. It is a wonderful pouch. And this is the set, guys. It's a wonderful set. Again, I paid for it only 41 euros, or let's say 48 American dollars. So you can't find them at these prices. And I didn't buy only a simple set from 1965. I bought a story with this Summerfield, this beautiful personalized etui. It gives character, it gives provenance to the piece. And what can I say, guys, when I have such pieces in my collection, it is like a dream. You could imagine where these instruments were in the last 50 years, and they have this undescribable beauty. They are beautiful like objects, but they can also be beautiful as tools for stories relating their possible history. So from the moment they went out in the world from their original factory in Germany, they somehow ended up on my table today to be reviewed and appreciated at their real value. They are valuable in the eyes of a KAWECO connoisseur, and they are certainly valuable in the eyes of a pen collector. That's why KAWECO Sport is one of my all-time favorites fountain pens. It is so practical, so beautiful, so elegant, then it will rival all of other German producers. It will always rival a Pelican or a Mont Blanc, but it has its own charm. And because it was such popular, such an affordable writing piece with a wonderful, wonderful gold nib, I think it deserves quite high uh, position in the all-time legendary fountain pens where we can find the legendary Parker 51, for example. Why not? In the top 10 position, it should be also a KAWECO Sport. Thank you guys for your time. This was my review of a wonderful, wonderful set. I apologize for the time it took me, but I think that those writing samples are quite interesting to define different types of nibs and how they perform after all this time. Thank you again for your time. I hope you've enjoyed this review of a wonderful German piston filler. If you've enjoyed this review, please consider subscribing to my channel to support my activity. In return, I promise that I will deliver new reviews of vintage and new writing instruments. Stay tuned because you don't know what you will be missing. I apologize for my low voice, but I recently had surgery to the neck, and my vocal cords are still recovering from that surgery. I hope you are well and safe, guys, in these pandemic times. I will definitely see you again on the next episode. Till then, bye bye, and God bless you all, my friends.